Megan, and welcome back to Good News Knits. This is a podcast where we can talk all about knitting and the good news of the gospel. Today's episode is all about 2026 plans. I've got plans for knitting projects I want to make. I've got plans for yarn, and then I've got plans for what I'm calling my godly goals for 2026. So we'll get into those in a bit. But all that being said, let's go ahead and get started with some knitting. So, first up on my Make 9 is the Storm Sweater by Petite Knit. So, I have been wanting to knit this sweater for such a long time. You probably, maybe if you've watched the first episode, you'll know I really love textured knits. I think that they're so high impact. I love that, you know, especially in this pattern, it's just knits and purls, and you just get so much drama from that. So yeah, drama is great in this case. So here's my little gauge swatch because I will say, spoiler alert, I have already cast this project on. This was my Christmas cast on. So yeah, I've got the yarn here for it. I'm using Knitting for Olive Merino and Soft Silk Mohair, and I'm using both in the colorways Morning Haze. So yeah, so that's exactly what is in the gauge swatch here, and I'm really excited for this sweater. I think that just having it in this nice basic gray color is going to make it super wearable. But just all of the pattern that's on it is just kind of going to give it like that cool vibe. So yeah, I've already started knitting this, and it's so fun. It's so addicting. It's really potato chippy. Like, let me just get to the next section. Let me just get to the next section. Yeah. So anyway, that's what's my first project of 2026. So yeah, let's get on to the next. The next project is going to be, and these are not in any particular order, just, um, the next is going to be another Monday sweater. I could have 100 Mondays, and I might someday, who knows? But I am wanting this Monday in a pop of color. I'm kind of like a neutral girly. I like really wearable colors, like basics. And I just think having a Monday in this beautiful, like bright red would just be so fun. This is again Knitting for Olive, merino and soft silk mohair, both in the colorway red currant. So I'm kind of hoping that if I can, I'd like to cast this on like rather quickly so that I could have a Valentine sweater. That would be really fun. So yeah, I've already knit this pattern twice, if you saw my previous video. So I think that it's just, such a great pattern to go back to. So yeah, this is going to be my 2026 Monday. Maybe I'll knit a Monday every year. That would be kind of fun. So yeah. All right. My third is going to be the Terrazzo sweater by Petite Knit. Now, the Terrazzo sweater is it's I've never knit a turtleneck like that before. I think it looks kind of intimidating because it's like so much ribbing, but I think it looks so chic. I love it so much. And I think the silhouette of the sweater is like really classic and um yeah, like classic and structured. So I think the fact that she knit it in this super fun yarn, that I'll show you in a second, I think that like kind of that juxtaposition is really cool. So I'm really excited to jump onto this project. So I'm going to use the color that or the yarn that she uses in one of the samples, and that's the Noro Madara in the colorway Sake. This is kind of like a cult favorite yarn, and I was so fortunate to be gifted this for Christmas. So immediately when I saw it, I had seen a lot of people knit cardigans up with this, and I think they're all beautiful. But when I saw Petite Knit's Terrazzo in it, I thought it was like a perfect match. So I'm gonna hold the Madara with the Knitting for Olive Silk Mohair in Morning Haze. So I actually have leftover mohair. I don't have leftover. I'm not finished with the sweater, but I know I'm gonna have several extra skeins. So I don't know if I'll have enough for the full terrazzo sweater, but I'll definitely have enough to get through the majority of the sweater. And if I have to order another skein, that's fine. I don't think a dye lot issue will matter with this colorful yarn. So yeah, I've already swatched these two together, and I wanted to hold the mohair. She doesn't, Petite Knit doesn't hold the mohair with it in the sample. I think she holds the Madara on its own, but I really like that this sort of adds a little more structure and it just kind of like softens everything and makes it a little more blendy, which I feel like goes with the vibe of the sweater. So yeah, so here's the combo before, and then hold your breath for America's Tiniest Gauge Swatch because I actually swatched several different mohairs, and this one just so happened to be the winner, but I did them really small because I did not want to waste this precious yarn. So yeah, here it is. I mean, it's just microscopic, but it's beautiful. I mean, this green speck, by the way, is everything to me. I really hope that my sweater has like several of these green pops because green's my favorite color and I'm obsessed with it. Knitting this gauge swatch was like the most fun I've had in a while. Like, I mean, every few stitches, it's like, oh, another color, oh, another color. Oh, look at that color. That yeah, this is going to be such a fun project, and I can't wait to get started. So yeah. And my birthday is coming up in March, and so I'm kind of going between another sweater and this sweater as my birthday cast on or birthday sweater. So yeah, we'll see. But this one is going to be really tough to put aside. I know that. I can already look at it and I'm just like, I want to get started. So the next is going to be the Bow Bow Shawl by Isabella Kramer. First of all, Isabella Kramer is so cool. I mean, all of her like sample photos, they're just so cool. I love her styling. I love her colors. I just love everything about her patterns. I think they're really, really like vibey and cool. So the Bow Bow Shawl, as soon as it came out, I thought like, I love that. It's kind of retro. I need to have it. So I did already buy yarn for this and I swatched for it. I bought Cascade 220 Sport and I am not a fan of the colors that I got. And I just feel like the yarn does not feel as like soft or drapey or maybe just like what I was kind of imagining. I've never used it before, so it was kind of like a little bit of a risk when I ordered it. But it was very inexpensive, and so it's not a huge loss for me. And I'll keep it in my stash. I know I'll find the right project for it, but it's just not the Bow Bow shawl. What I think is the right yarn for it is one of the kits from Plucky Knitters. She has the most gorgeous, unexpected, unique color pairings. So there's a kit. She has all these like several different kit options. One of them is it's the three color version of the shawl, and it's got a baby blue called Powder Puff, a full on peanut butter brown called aptly named In a Jiff, and then a pop of color orange called Hunter Safety. And these colors like are so like left field for me. I would not expect these to look good together and I would not expect that I would be like drawn to them. But when I saw her version, I was like, yes, yes, yes. It looks so beautiful. And part of that is because I know that she knit this, or the sample is knit up in those colors in the Spiffy Sport base, which is a 60% cashmere and a 40% silk combination. So, I mean, like it's probably so luxe. It looks beautiful. It looks so soft in the photos. So, yeah, the kit is actually devastatingly sold out right now. So, I'm hoping it comes back in so that I can get it because now that I've seen the shawl like knit up in that combination, I can't like stray from that vision. I think it's so cute, and yeah, so hopefully I can get that kit and knit that shawl this year. That's definitely like a fun, colorful make for me. It's unexpected for me too. Okay. I want to take a break here before we keep going to the rest of the Make Nines, and I want to talk about my 2026 godly goals. So these are things that changes or habits, practices that I really want to prioritize this year in order to kind of level up my relationship with God. So the first thing is going to be a daily practice. So I do a Bible study almost every single day, but it kind of varies in time. So sometimes it's in the morning, sometimes it's in the evening, and I don't advise doing that because really, I mean, you're not you're not giving God like your first harvest, your first fruits. You're not putting God first. And in doing that, it's kind of like, well, I'll get to it when I get to it if I get to it. And I really don't I don't like that. I don't feel that that's the way that I want to show up for God. I know God shows up for me in not that same fashion. So for me, that looks like waking up an extra 30 minutes early so that I can have quiet time with God in my Bible every morning. I think that there is something so special about starting my day with God, worshiping God, praising God, giving gratitude. I think practicing gratitude in the morning is so, so healthy. And it just really sets the tone for the rest of the day. I also think it's good to start the day seeking guidance from the Lord. So, after doing my morning Bible study, closing out with a prayer and just setting the tone for the rest of the day, asking God for specific needs that I know I have, or for my family, or whatever that is. I just feel like that's really a good way to start the day. And by making myself accountable to, setting my alarm for that 30 minutes early, I'm kind of guaranteeing that time. Like, I have to get up at this time. This is an appointment that I have with God at this time that I need to be there for. So that's a big goal for me, and I've already done that several times. And I know that the days that I do it, it's just they're just better. They're just better days. And so that's a really like that's goal number one for me. My second goal is kind of two parts. So it includes two different courses at our local church. And the first course is called Fresh Start. Both my husband and I are enrolled in it. And it kind of gives you the structure and framework for living a Christian life. That is, it's really what we want. It's the way that we want to live our life. We want to be aligned with the Bible. We want to live in obedience with God's will. So by doing this course, I think that's really going to set us up for success in this journey. It actually is right before our normal church service, so it's super doable. It's super attainable. It's not going to be like we need to carve out all of this extra time. So yeah, that's the first part of my second goal. The second part is going to be another course that is through our church, and that is in the form of an apologetics course. So we normally go to Bible study on Wednesday nights. This course kind of replaces that. It's only for like a semester's length. So after that, we'll go back to our normal Wednesday night Bible study. But this course is really important to me. Apologetics is really important to me. It's foundational to where I'm at today in my walk with God. But more importantly, I mean, I know like a drop in the bucket of the knowledge that's out there. It's really important to me to seek wisdom in the way that God calls us to. So by taking this course, I know that I feel like I'm equipping myself to answer questions, not only questions that maybe other people around me have, but questions that I have. I know God is not afraid of my questions. There is no question that I have that would um, God would be like, I'm not going to answer that. Or in the same respect, there's no question that I'm afraid of the answer. I have no question that I can't bring to God and then be like plugging my ears for the answer. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I want to hear everything that God has, and all of those answers are really just um, kind of teaching me more and more about the character of God. That's something I really, really wish to expand my knowledge on. So yeah, for that reason, I mean, I'm really excited about that. This course, it just started in January, so it'll continue on for several more months, and I really, really cannot wait to see how just how the Holy Spirit takes that information and just kind of lets it blossom within me. I'm really excited about that. Okay. And then my last godly goal for 2026 is going to be kind of like, I don't want to say vague and broad, but it kind of is. So I really want to work at bringing things to before the Lord before I bring them to anybody else. So if I'm having a stressful day, before I get on my phone and text somebody, before, I talk to whoever else about it, I really feel like, taking that struggle, that feeling that am I anxious about a project? Am I nervous about something? Whatever it is, I want to be able to stop, take, a few seconds and just throw it at the feet of the Lord and ask for guidance. Do I need you know, in this moment of struggle, sometimes it's like not just like, Lord, can you, help my anxiety, or can you, help my struggles with this? But sometimes it's like, Lord, I'm really struggling right with this right now. I need to take a few minutes, and I want to help me find some joy, Lord. I need to think about um the joy that you have brought into my life, whether that's maybe just doing a small practice of gratitude, whatever it is. Maybe it's like, this is something that I'm struggling with right now, but when I put it into perspective and I think about what my Savior struggled through for me, it really puts things into perspective. So, whatever it is throughout the day, I don't care how menial, how small, how minuscule something seems. I want to bring it to the feet of God, and I want to really grow that relationship and have a close relationship where Jesus is my closest friend. I can bring everything to him, and I'm there waiting open for any answers that he has for me. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at spiritually, and things that I'm really really looking forward to in the 2026 year. So, if you guys have any godly goals that you have planned, anything that you are doing in 2026 to grow spiritually, please let me know down below. I think that would be so cool, just to find out what everybody else is doing and sharing that fellowship together. Yeah, so all that being said, let's keep going with the rest of my knitting projects. All right, the next is going to be the Lakes pullover, the Lakes V-neck pullover by Ozetta. I'm really excited about this sweater for several reasons. So, number one, I don't have any V-neck sweaters. I don't have any. I don't even think I have a V-neck, maybe one V-neck shirt. But yeah, so this is definitely a garment that's going to like fill a void in my wardrobe. But yeah, the next reason is I really want to knit an Ozetta pattern. Everybody talks about how well written they are and concise and clear. And yeah, I'm all about that. So anytime I'm trying a new pattern designer, the fact that they have like a really great reputation, I'm all about it. I'm so excited. I love this sweater so much. I think it looks really chic. So I plan on knitting this in Woolstock Worsted. This is by Blue Sky Fibers. This is in the colorway. I think it's cast iron. Yeah, cast iron. So, I mean, this is such beautiful yarn. And for as kind of like rusticy as it like looks, it's so soft. Like it's so soft and squishy. I'm really excited to see how this knits up. Everybody who knits with it, recommends it and talks about how great it is. So yeah, I think this is going to be a really, really cool knit. I've never done a saddle construction either. So that's something that's going to be new. I've never knit a v-neck. I don't own a v-neck, but I've definitely never knit one. So that's going to be really fun to learn too. So yeah, new skills coming in 2026. And then yeah, this is just going to be, I think, such a cool staple with like just a white t-shirt underneath. I think this will be really wearable. Okay, next is another Isabella Kramer shawl. I can't get enough of her stuff. I think she, again, like I said, she's like uber cool. And yeah, so the next shawl that I plan on knitting is the Malibu shawl. And she has two samples of this shawl on Ravelry. And one of the samples is knit up in this Imyak Tibetan Fibers baby camel. And so I could not find the actual yarns that were knit up in the first three color sample. I was able to find these from Wool and Co., which, by the way, like total side quest here, I ordered like a big quantity of yarn. I mean, way back in like the spring of last year of 2025, and the post office lost it. It was like stuck in Kansas City for like 10 days, and I did a claim and they were like, we can't help you. We don't know where your yarn is. So Wool & Co graciously resent me the yarn like so quickly. I got it right away. So yeah, I mean, if you're in the United States and you want, quick delivery, great selection of yarn, full on Wool & Co is like my go-to. So yeah, I was able to get this from Wool and Co. And this dark color is the colorway Anthracite, and then this lighter color is Thar, Thar, Thar. So yeah, 100% baby camel. I think this is going to be really cool to work up. I think the shawl is really cool, and I've never done a like the color work in it is like slip stitch. So I've never done a color work like that. So you're not using multiple colors. You're just like slipping stitches with your main color. So yeah, I think this is gonna be really fun to work up. And I've never knit a shawl, like completed a shawl before. And so I feel like who am I? I'm a shawl knitter now. So yeah, I hope to have two Isabella Kramer shawls finished in 2026. Yeah. Okay. Next is a sweater that I have been like dying to make since I started knitting. I saw this sweater on like Pinterest, and I think it was like maybe right, like the very beginning of my knitting journey a couple of years ago, and it just caught my eye. I loved it, and I still think about it all the time, which tells me I need to just knit this sweater. I need to stop putting it off. I need to knit it. And this is the Islander Dame Raglan by Sennisgarn. And this is knit in sisu, which I think is like a cotton. I think it's like actually kind of a sock yarn. It's like a not cotton. I think it's like a merino, a superwash merino, and a nylon blend. So it's going to be really durable. It's fingering weight, which is like, and I don't think it's held double. I'll have to double check, but I don't think it's held double. So this is going to be like this is going to be like a long project for me. So not only is it all over color work, which I've never done, it's also bottom up. So the idea of knitting a sweater bottom up and then like knitting the sleeves separate and connecting them is really intimidating. And another intimidating element of the sweater is the fact that it's a Sandusgarn pattern, which I've kind of heard they're notoriously bare bones. Like there's no hand holding. They're not gonna give you like the step-by-step breakdown. It's going to be like, I probably need to rely more on my knitting experience. So for those reasons, I've kind of like been kicking the can down the road on this one. But I would love to knit this year. And this is the sweater that's kind of competing with the terrazzo sweater to be my birthday cast on. So I'm not sure. I already have the yarn for the terrazzo. That might be the more practical choice, but this is going to be like a long play. So it might be nice to kind of get this started earlier on in the year so I kind of have a lot of time to finish it. I think this sweater is so cool. I plan on knitting it in the exact same colors. Like I'm not going to be creative, I'm not going to be adventurous. I don't want to branch out at all. I literally want this like I want to copy and paste the sweater into real life. I love the green. I think it's so cool. Maybe it's just like the sample photo, like it just looks I love it. I don't know. I can't even get it together. I just love it so much. So yeah, that's something that I'm really looking forward to in 2026 is finally bringing that sweater into fruition. Next up is another colorwork garment, and this is the Norma sweater by My Favorite Things Knitwear. Now, I don't have yarn for this, so I'll have to order some. I'm thinking of doing maybe one of the Norma kits on the Isair site. I really want to try Isair yarn. I've heard a lot of great things about it. And I think a lot of the colorways are really beautiful. I chose a sample photo. Actually, this is not a sample photo from the designer. This is a photo of somebody who's knit this sweater on Pinterest. But I chose this photo because it's really close to the colors that I want to use. So I really think I want the main color to be like a charcoal or dark gray color. And then I like the idea of like a white or a cream to be kind of those toothier color work bits. And then like an aqua greeny color for like the pop of color stripe. So yeah, that's kind of my vision for the Norma sweater. I've heard a lot of people say that it's a really good like first color work sweater because it's a raglan. The color work is really minimal. I think it's only on like a couple lines. Other than that, you're or a couple rows. You're really only knitting like stripes. That's kind of what it looks like to me. So I think this will be really doable. So, like, part of me is like, should I knit the Norma before I knit the Islander sweater? Would it matter? Was it going to help my skills at all? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we'll see. We'll just tackle that when we get to it. But yeah, I can't wait to knit this sweater. I think it looks really. I think it just looks really great for something kind of so simple with like the chunkier stripes. It's just cool. It's like effortlessly chic. Um, yeah, and then the last project on my Make 9 list is going to be literally all the socks. So the pattern that I've chosen is called the Sandown socks, and I think it's by the Wool Barn. I think these are really cool with like those little ridges. I don't know what they're called. The little ridges on the cuff. I think those look really cool, and that would be kind of a fun skill to learn. But I am a member of the Sock Squad, the 2026 Sock Squad with Farmer's Daughter Fiber. So I get like a monthly sock set, and it's the colorway is a surprise, so I don't get to choose it. It's just, you kind of like you get what you get. So far, I've gotten two because I signed up at the end of last year, and they're both beautiful colorways. And the nice thing is like sometimes the colors might not be something that I would necessarily like choose, but I really like that aspect, like, working with a color that I've not used or something that's maybe unexpected. So I would love to knit 12 pairs of socks in 2026. I don't know if that's doable or realistic. If I leave 2026 with 6 pairs of socks, I will be ecstatic. Um, but yeah, I really hope to up my sock wardrobe. I've actually worn the like 4 pairs that I have so much this winter, and I've been like, oh, I wish I had more. And yeah, so I'm really hoping to beef up my sock collection this year. So I think that's all that I have for you guys, knitting wise, godly goals wise. 2026 is going to be a really great year, and on all fronts. I'm so excited to dive in, and there's something about the new year that is like wonderful. I don't know. I'm not like a typical resolutions person, but I do love like a fresh start, a new beginning, like all right, like let's wipe the slate clean and let's start over. So, yeah, I'm really excited about that. I hope that maybe some of these projects inspire you, maybe some of my godly goals inspire you. Please share what you guys are knitting, what you guys are doing, how you guys are enriching your spiritual lives. I love that stuff. I can't wait to read and see what you guys have to say about it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys on the next episode of Good News Knits. Bye.